Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field, already underway. Jake Buns already with the strikeout and has a 1-2 count on the next batter. The umpires really wanted to keep things moving, so they started way earlier than we anticipated up here in the press box. Check down, swing and miss, strike three on the check down. So Klein goes down. So 2 strikeouts for Jake Buns to start. As we are underway, Hutch won in tremendously grand fashion. A walk-off home run, 2-run shot by Zane Schmidt, his 3rd home run of the game, tying a Blue Dragon record. And his 6 RBIs tied for the 5th most in team history. First strike to Corbin Truslow. Again, scrambling around really fast to get things back in order. Buns' pitch, high and tight for a ball. Jake's had a solid start to his freshman campaign. 6'5", 240-pound left-handed freshman from Omaha. Lefty-lefty matchup here. The numbers on Buns momentarily. The pitch. Strike 1 and 2. Jake Buns, 4-1 with a 5.53 record, making his 5th start, 8th appearance. 27 2/3 innings, pitched 27 hits, 22 runs, 17 earned, 46 strikeouts, 13 walks, and opponents hitting .260 against. 1-2 pitch. Slider a little bit low. It's 2-2 to Truslow. Truslow had a double and a home run in Garden City's Game 1 loss. All 7 of Garden City's runs came with 2 outs. Slider from Buns misses, and it's a full count. McDonald, Klein, Truslow, Finley, Anderson, Stone, Laura, Brunson, and Barber for Chris Finnegan here. Hard hit ball right to the second baseman, Logan Sartori, off the backslay. And it's a 1-2-3 inning to start game number 2 for Jake Buns with a couple of strikeouts. After half, Garden City nothing and the Dragons coming up. Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field. Nothing like fun at the old ballpark when Denny Steckline's on Twitter. Will Reeds to lead it off here in the bottom of the first. And facing Malachi Crone, first pitch swinging, little looper in the left center that drops in for a hit. Reeds will make a big turn and put the brakes on. So the Dragons get a leadoff batter aboard, and that'll bring up Logan Sartori. It is Reed, Sartori, Schmidt, Nedved, Moritz, Bolin, Noble, Baxley, Caesar, the lineup for the Blue Dragons. Logan Sartori takes a strike. Logan 2 for 5 in the first game. Drove in 1, scored 2. Now hitting .333 with 35 hits, 6 home runs, and 34 driven in. That ties Zane Schmidt for the lead, team lead. Jam shot, and Sartori fouls it off. And it's 0-2. Oh, 0-2 the count. Reeds away from first, the pitch. Just misses. One and two the count. Move over to first. Reeds back in safely. Reeds just 1 steal in 3 attempts this year. Not your prototypical leadoff person. Neither team stole a base in the first game. 1-2 pitch. Hit to right field and shallow. Drifting back is the second baseman, Klein, to make the catch. And there's one away. One down for Zane Schmidt. His last 3 at-bats, he has lost them over the wall. 3 straight home runs. Incidentally, when Michael Hellman did it in 2016, he also hit his 3 home runs in 3 consecutive at-bats. That wild Region 6 series. Big cut from Zane. Schmidt now hitting a team-high .374, 12 home runs, 34 driven in. That ties Logan Sartori for the team lead. Schmidt now number 1 in the Jayhawk West in home runs. Hard hit ball knocked down by the first baseman, Laura. He goes to second for 1, and that'll be the only play. So Laura just ate that one up and got the force, getting Reeds at second. The shortstop, Griffin Brunson, taking the throw. So runner at first, 2 away for Dylan Nedved. Nedved hitting in the 4 slot in this one. 35 for 112. A .313 average, a couple of home runs, and 27 driven in. Breaking pitch for a strike. Nedved 1 out of 2. Walked twice. The pitch. At the knees for a strike. And very quickly, 0-2 to Nedved. He will play next year, already signed for the University of Iowa. So I'll be able to go to Haymarket Park in Lincoln and heckle him. 0-2 pitch. Good swing by Nedved, fouled back out of play. Very comfortable day here in Hutch. Started out with brilliant sunshine. Got it filtered. Clouds moved in. We're still expecting rain tonight. That's why this doubleheader was moved up an hour. The pitch. Foul back. Just above the press box. Denny Steckline always on the lookout for people who flinch. So no flinching this time. No flinching this time. The 0-2. Line down the right field line, but it's going to hook foul. So 3 straight foul balls on 0-2.
You know you've been fouled out on Twitter about that, don't you?
We've had some people kind of almost fall over up here.
That's one reason why I don't do Twitter that often.
The pitch. Curveball. Nedved fights off a 4th straight 0-2 pitch.
I should do more tweeting, though.
I think Thomas was the guy that you got the worst, didn't he?
Malachi Crone, 3-0 record. 5.61 ERA, making his 5th start, 7th overall appearance. Crone's pitched 25 2/3 innings, allowed 30 hits, 21 runs, 16 earned, 25 strikeouts to only 4 walks, and Nedved gets rung up on a high pitch, and the inning is over. So no runs a hit, one left. After one, there's no score at Hobart-Detter Field. Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field. No score through one. The Blue Dragons won the opener in dramatic fashion. 8-7 on a walk-off home run by Will Reed, or by Schmidt, Zane Schmidt. And the first pitch of the second inning from Jake Bunds to Dakota Finley's fouled off to the right. Finley in the first game, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Strike called. And there's nothing in two. Jake Bunds worked a 1-2-3 top of the first. The big left-hander kicks and fires. That one's looped into right field for Garden City's first hit. Finley just reached out and touched it to right. So the Busters get their first hit of the game, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Brendan Anderson. Anderson 0 for 3 with an RBI in the first game. Walked once, struck out once. Dragons out-hit Garden City 12-7. Busters had 2 home runs in the game. Pitched low and away for a ball. Home runs by Trussler and Klein. Klein also had a double. Klein was 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. The pitch. Low one in, 2-0. Got to be careful. The Blue Dragons have been so up and down this year. You get that walk-off win. Can you sustain the momentum from it? Bunds is 2-0. 3-0. The defensive alignment, with the exception of catcher, exactly the same as game number 1. Strike on the cripple pitch, and it's 3-1. Chris Noble starting for Max McGuire, but otherwise Bolin in left. Caesar in center. And Reitz in right. That's the outfield. Strike called, and Bunds works the count back to 3-2. Ryan Moritz at third. Dylan Nedved at short. Logan Sartori at second. Zach Baxley at first. Fastball just misses the outer half, and it's 2-on to start the Busters' second. Finley with the bloop single to right. Anderson walks, and now the left-handed hitting Colin Stone will step in. Stone, the catcher, he went hitless in the first game. Fanned 3 times. See if Chris Finnegan wants to bunt in this situation. Stone shows bunt, bunted along third, and it goes foul. Wise read by Moritz. He better go get it before it goes back fair. But it ended up passing the base. It would have been foul. If that ball would have rolled back fair in front of the bag, that would have been a fair ball. That would have been interesting talk in the dugout after the game. 0-1 the count now to Stone. Excuse me. Buns' pitch. Taken for a strike at the knees, 0-2. So we'll see if Finnegan pulls the bunt off. Neither team turned a twin killing in the first game. Buns comes set, checks the runner at second, checks again, now delivers the 0-2. Got him swinging. First base occupied. Stone is out. Strikeout number 3 for Jake Buns, and it's a big one. Now a double play can get him out of the inning. First baseman Chris Laura will be the batter. Laura 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in the first game. Winning pitcher from that first game was Zach Philbin. He worked a spotless 7th inning with 2 strikeouts. Wound up getting his 3rd win of the year. Buns' delivery to Laura, strikeout or half at the knees. Jacob Douglas took the loss for Garden City, his first loss of the year. He was an out away from win number 7. He just crumpled when Zane Schmidt launched that ball to end it. Just crumpled right on the mound. The 0-1. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and it's 0-2. The Blue Dragons now with 47 home runs. And they're right on pace for their record pace of 93 1 year ago. Playing game number 30. Buns comes set. The pitch. Tap foul at the plate. It is. I cannot tell you. I've got Steve Kappenman, our assistant AD, sitting right to my right. He knows how bad I've been wanting to get out here and do some baseball. Yeah, maybe that was. I've been off Coke for 8 weeks now.
The drink.
Yes. Thank you. Foul back out of play. Yes, a Coca-Cola devotee. I've been off of it for roughly 8.5 weeks now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. My car's been doing good. He hasn't drank any for
8.5 weeks. Finley away from second, Anderson from first. Bunt steps off and will reset.
Yeah, he passed it on. That's funny.
Runner at first not being held on in Anderson. Buns comes set, now delivers the 0-2. Runner goes from second. It's fouled off. So Chris Finnegan put the hit and run on with Finley. Laura fouls it off, and Finley will have to return to second. I almost kind of wonder if he went on his own. There was no break from first at all from Anderson. Second and first, Busters have runners on with 1 out. Here's the 0-2 from Buns. And on the hands, fouled back. Good delivery, good location. Anytime you could jam a batter like that, you're pitching on your terms. Kind of shocked the umpires haven't seen the fence opening down the right field line. Buns looks into Christopher Noble for the sign, gets it and comes set. Once again, the 0-2. That one's lifted to right, could be trouble. Diving catch by Reitz, he makes it. Now tagging and going to third is Finley. Good heads up base running by him, but a great catch by Will Reitz in right field. Now runners at the corners, 2 away. That thing was dying and tailing away from him. And Reitz kept his head right on the ball. Makes the diving catch. Now 2 away for Garrett Brunson, the shortstop. Brunson went 0 for 2 in the first game. Buns' pitch in the dirt, blocked by Noble. They throw down to second with the runner advancing. Anderson gets in. It'll be a wild pitch charged to Jake Buns. So now it's 2 on in scoring position with 2 out and a 1-0 count to Brunson. Brunson, a 196 hitter coming into the afternoon. The 1-0. Took something off of it, did Buns, and Brunson swings through it to even the count at 1-1. Getting brighter here. That sun's trying to battle through the clouds. Lefty-righty matchup. The lefty Buns comes set and delivers. Foul back to the netting.
Getting him trained up, Dad. Getting him trained up. No, he's good.
Nice.
He's stone cold.
Third time we have him trained up.
He's stone
Something you got to learn, Jeff. You don't even have to flinch to get tweeted that you flinch.
That's okay. You get thrown under the bus.
You don't have to be in the press box sometimes.
Respond to you.
Oh, did he?
I saw that.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Buns' delivery. Hard hit ball. Foul just outside of third. That would have been 2 runs. Dragons catch a break. Connor Craig gets on his horse and goes down and gets it into the corner. Still work being done here at Hobart-Detter Field, refurbishing a lot of things, including the new locker room maintenance facility over the left field wall. Greening up very nicely, though. This is typical Hobart-Detter Field in the spring, one of the greatest places to be in Kansas. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, poured right over the middle, and the inning is over. So a leadoff single and a walk. Buns works around him. No runs, a hit, and 2 left. To the bottom of the second we go. Dragons nothing and the Busters nothing. Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field, everybody. Game number 2 of this 4-game set between Hutchinson and Garden City. Steve Carpenter with you, Sports Information Director at Hutchinson Community College and regular voice of Blue Dragon Baseball. Again, want to extend my thanks to Denny Steckline for filling in for me when we had games and I was in Lubbock. And he's very able-bodied and helping me fill in. Pitch outside to Ryan Moritz as we start the second. Malachi Crone gave up 1 hit in his first inning. The pitch to Moritz is taken at the knees for a strike. Moritz extended his hitting streak to 4 games with a 1-for-4 performance. He singled to left center field, struck out twice. Crone's pitch is a breaking ball, and it's inside out and into left field for a base hit. That's 5 games in a row Moritz has gotten base hits in. Second hit of the game for Hutchinson. And it's a leadoff single. Dragons didn't come away with anything when Reach slid off the first. Now Zion Bolin. Bolin in the first game, 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Bolin now hitting .216, 8 for 37, a home run and 7 RBIs, and he takes a strike at the knees. This series, weather permitting, will shift to Williams Field in Garden City on Saturday. Garden City Sports Information will provide the video that day. The 0-1 pitch. Big cut and a miss by Bolin, and it's 0-2. I mentioned weather permitting, Garden City is forecast to have some snow on Saturday. Only in Kansas, and my counterpart down the way, he said this earlier, Mike Pilosoff from Garden City. Big swing and a miss by Bolin. He's down on strikes on 3 pitches. One away for catcher Christopher Noble. He had a pinch hit performance in game number 1 and struck out. Noble hitting .306 for the year, making his 11th start. 11 for 36, 4 doubles, a triple, a home run, 7 RBIs, and 5 runs scored. But only Mike Pilosoff said only in Kansas you can have 75 in one day and snow the next. You can do that in Nebraska too pretty easily. But it's amazing how that happens here in the central United States during this time of the year. The pitch. Big cut by Noble. The last April that I lived in North Platte, Nebraska before moving down here, North Platte was hit by 3 19-inch snowstorms. First one happened, it melted. Second one happened, it melted. By the time the third one happened, it melted. We had massive flooding in North Platte. The pitch. A little bit outside, and it's 1-1 to Noble. Moritz away from first. The delivery. Slice foul, and it's 1-2 now to Christopher Noble. Noble with part of a very deep catching staff. Max McGuire, of course, the number 1 catcher. Then you have Christopher Noble. Zach Baxley, who came to Hutchinson as a catcher, but now is converted to a first baseman, also part of that catching crew. The pitch. Hit him. On a 1-2 pitch, Malachi Crone hits Christopher Noble, and it's 2 on and 1 out for the Blue Dragons and Zach Baxley. In addition to the three aforementioned catchers, Zane Schmidt also a king catch. And Ryan Schmidt has used them all at one point or another this year. Now Bax, still trying to break out of a slump. Had an RBI single in the first game. Crone takes a pitch, or Crone delivers a pitch over the outer half for a strike. 23 pitches, 20 strikes for Crone, so he's in the zone. The pitch. Strike 2 called. Same pitch, same location, same result. Now Bax is down 0-2. Baxley hitting .250, 21 out of 84, home run and 14 driven in. 1 for 4 with an RBI in game number 1. The pitch. Well hit right center field. On the run is the center fielder Barber. He makes the catch. The Dragons will have to return, and now it's 2 on, 2 out for Jeremiah Caesar. Bax hit it well. He's also looking to go the other way. That's another good sign by Bax. Actually pulled that one, my apologies. Here's Jeremiah Caesar. 1 for 3, Caesar in the first game. His average creeping up to .256, 10 hits and 39 at bats, a couple of doubles and 6 driven in. The fastest of all the Blue Dragons. You'd love to see him get on. You'd love to see him become a prototypical leadoff hitter. He is Willie Wilson type fast. Moritz from second, Noble from first. The pitch. Grounded right to the second baseman. Klein has it. He'll go to first in time, and the Dragons are turned away in the second. Second time in a row, the Dragons have gotten the leadoff man aboard and can't cash. After 2, Busters nothing and the Dragons nothing. No score through 2 at Hobart-Detter Field. Garden City top of the third. Jake Buns has allowed 1 hit through 2 innings. There's 4 strikeouts. And center fielder Jake Barber takes outside ball once. 9-1-2 here in the Buster third. It was the third inning in which Garden City opened its scoring in game number 1, scoring 3 runs. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1 to Barber. Pitch misses outside, and it's now 2-1. Straight away and kind of bunched in the middle is the Dragon outfield. The pitch. Laid on a fastball, and it's now 2-2. The wind and the fire 2-2 pitch is pop foul out of play. It is a most comfortable day. One nice sitting in the press box out of the wind. 2-2 pitch. Just misses outside. Full count now to Barber. After Barber will be McDonald and Klein for the Buster. Payoff pitch. One's laced to left field over shortstop Dylan Nedved's head. It's a leadoff single to start the third for the Busters. Barber getting his first hit of the series. Second hit of the game for Garden City. It's now tied 2 apiece. And Turner McDonald, the left fielder, steps in. McDonald struck out swinging his first time, now 1 for 4 in the series. Not a big crowd today. Be a great day to get out and enjoy some good weather. Hadn't been much. Breaking pitch misses high and outside for ball 1. The Blue Dragons again have added a game. They're going to play Redlands here on April 5th, I believe, or April 2nd. It's a Tuesday. Strike called. A 5-game, 3-day homestand. The Redlands on Tuesday, and then Sterling College in for 4, their JV team. The Dragons will have their conference bye week next week. Move over to first. Nothing happening. Runner goes, and it's fouled back out of play. Again, Finnegan puts the hit and run on. And the Busters can't execute, so nothing in, or 1-2 the count. How big was that game 1 comeback? I'll tell you here in a moment when I kick up the updated conference standings. The Dragons could have fallen behind 3 games. The pitch over but low for a ball, 2-2. The pitch, runner goes. It's a swing and a miss. The runner or the batter is out, but it'll be a stolen base for Barber. 5th strikeout for Buns, but Barber reaches on the second on the steal. That will be his 11th steal in 16 attempts. First stolen base of the series for either team. Now a runner at second, 1 away for Sean Klein, who had a huge first game. 2 for 4, a 2-run home run. RBI double. Pitch in the dirt, blocked by Noble. No advancement from Barber. Again, it was the 3rd inning. Same score where the Busters broke through in game number 1 with a 3 spot. The RBI double by Klein and then the 2-run home run by Corbin Truslow. Buns checks the runner at second. Runner goes. Pitches inside. The throw down is low, knocked down by Moritz. He totally jumped or stole that one on Jake Buns. So now Barber steals his second base of the inning. Dragons will play back and give the run up for the out. Here's the 2-0. High pop in the shallow center. Could be trouble. Caesar makes the catch, tagging and then putting the brakes on, throws up the line. Now nobody covering the plate, and the runner's going to score because of the error. So a throwing error on Jeremiah Caesar allows the first run to come across. Barber pulled up. He wasn't going to score, but when Christopher Noble knocked the ball down, it kicked to his left, and there's nobody who could get to it in time. So that will not be an RBI, as he scored on the error. So no RBI, unearned run. Now Truslow hits bases empty, 2 away. Ball 1 to Truslow. Grounded out his first time up. Yeah. He didn't, or the runner stopped. He held up. He wasn't coming down and wasn't scoring until the ball kicked away from Christopher Noble. The 0-1. Little tapper left side. Could be trouble. Charging his Moritz. Fields throws and gets Truslow to end the inning. So 1 run coming on the throwing error by center fielder Jeremiah Caesar. 1 hit, nobody left, and after 1 or 2.5, Busters are on the board. They lead Hutchinson 1-0. As usual, picking on my granddaughter Karen, who's running the scoreboard today. Thank her for doing that very much. 1-0 Garden City on an unearned run, top of the third. Dragons will see Malachi Crone for the second time, top the order, and Will Reese leads off. He goes first pitch, hacking, and fouls it off. Reese singled and did not move from first base in his first at-bat in the first. Reach now 25 hits for the season. Big cut and a miss, and it's or foul back to the screen, and it's 0-2. Reach went 1 for 4 in the first game. He extended his hitting streak with that first inning single to 9 games now. Second longest hit streak of the year. 1-2. Zane Schmidt had a 9-gamer earlier this year. Dylan Nedved, the longest of the year, with 12. The line in the pitch. That one's well struck to left field and down for a hit. Reitz is 2 for 2. Has 2 of the 3 Dragon hits. And now Logan Sartori. Logan popped up to the second baseman in his first at bat, 0 for 1. Now 2 for 6 in the series. Pitch taken outside for a ball. Logan Sartori, 115 career hits. He became the 31st Blue Dragon to reach 100 career hits. His teammate Dylan Nedved became the 30th. Strike to Sartori, and it's 1-1. Sartori headed for Texas A&M next year, following the footsteps of former second baseman Michael Hellman. And Logan's the one who replaced Hellman at second base. Now Hellman a part of the Twins organization. That one's hit to right field. Over to his right to make the catch is Brendan Anderson. Halfway down now, retreating his reach, and there's one away. So Sartori tries to go the opposite way for a second straight time. He's 0 for 2, and that'll bring up Zane Schmidt, the hero of game number 1. His first 2 at-bats in game number 1 were called third strikes. His next 3 at-bats were 3 home runs and 6 RBIs, including the walk-off in the bottom of the 7th. Well, hits center field, but it's going to stay in the park. Right in front of the track is Jake Barber to make the catch, and there's 2 away. Retreating back to first is Will Reitz. Schmidt 0 for 2. Now it's Dylan Nedved who took a called third on a somewhat questionable pitch. It was at the letters, but maybe close enough to protect off of. The Dragons currently with 276 strikeouts for the year. That in 930 at-bats. 78 of those have been called thirds. Ball 1 to Nedved. Over the last 4 years, more of this Blue Dragon offense has improved under Ryan Schmidt. Run production's come up. Ground balls, the runner goes to short. Only play will be to first. Low throw, and it's not handled. On his way to third is Reitz. And it'll be a throwing error on the shortstop, Griffin Brunson. So 2 errors, or the first error of the game for Garden City. Reitz goes first to third on the error, and now the tying run at third base with 2 outs. And Will Reitz for third baseman Ryan Moritz. Mo extended his hit streak to 5 games with a second inning leadoff single. Big swing and a miss by Moritz, 0-1. Moritz second on the team with 31 strikeouts. With 30 strikeouts, excuse me. Zach Baxley has 32. Move over to first. Back in safely is Nedved. Dylan hasn't been the runner he was last year. 8 out of 9. That is second on the team behind Sartori's 20. Crone comes set and delivers. Loop to center field, and the game is tied. Base hit for Ryan Moritz. He's 2 for 2. Reitz scores, and we're tied at 1. So errors coming into play in both ends of the inning. We're all tied at 1 apiece on a solid single by Ryan Moritz. Both runs unearned in the game, but they still count. Mo drives in his 10th run of the year, and that'll bring up Zion Bolin. Bolin, a strikeout victim his first time. 4th hit of the game for Hutch. 2 from Moritz, 2 from Reitz. The pitch. Catches the outside corner of fastball. 0-1 to Zion. He missed a bunch of games earlier in the year with a leg injury. Really just kind of working back in. Breaking pitch in on the hands, fouled off to our right up here in the press box, and Bolin down to the count, 0-2. As it stands, right now the Dragons in third place alone at 8-5, or actually tied for second with Butler at 8-5. The pitch. Ground ball snagged by the pitcher, Crone. He'll run to first, underhand flip, and that'll do it for the Dragons in the third. But they get an unearned run on 2 hits. Ryan Moritz's RBI single, scoring Will Reitz. We've completed 3 at Hobart-Detter Field. Dragons 1 and the Busters 1. Each team scores under and runs in the third. Knotted up at 1, entering the fourth. This one's scheduled for 9. It is Jake Buns for the Blue Dragons versus Malachi Crone for the Busters. And it will be middle third of the order for Garden City due up here in the fourth. Here's Dakota Finley, the third baseman. He sprays one off to the right, but it'll go foul. Maybe the umpires will see that gate open, and they did nothing about it. That's all right. Dragons won the first game in walk-off fashion. Zane Schmidt's 2-run home run, 8-7 victory. And pitch taken low in the dirt, and it's counted even at 1-1. Barton and Seward County doing battle this afternoon at Brett Gould Field and Liberal. The Cougars lead the Jayhawk West at 9-3. Finley takes another shot to right field. They did fix the fence. It's 1-2. Since Barton started the season 1-3 against the Blue Dragons, they have swept 2 straight series. Now 9-3. The pitch. Did he go around? No, he did not. Chris Noble applied the tag. The pitch from Buns totally tied Finley up. Now it's 2-2. Just the motion almost brought the bat barrel through the zone. Buns is 2-2. Lifted the center, well hit. Drifting back is Caesar to the track. He's got it actually a step short of the track, and there's one away here in the Buster fourth. That, and I'm going to look at Cap when I say this, looked an awful lot like a healthy and younger Jamel Cervantes in center field. Just the way he drifted back. The speed is very similar, although Mel probably couldn't outrun him as he stands today. Brendan Anderson steps in, the right fielder. He takes low one outside for a ball. Anderson walked his first time up.
He's got old man strikes now.
If Jamel Cervantes were ready to warm up, he'd probably pull the hamstring just stretching. Now back off the end of the bat, and it's 1-1 to Anderson. Jamel Cervantes was a center fielder for the Blue Dragons from 2008 and 2010. He missed most of 2009 with an injury and was able to get a medical redshirt. Good for him because he played on the 2010 World Series team. The pitch. Breaking pitch misses outside for a ball. One of the most graceful center fielders the Blue Dragons have ever had. And they've been blessed with many over the years. 2-1 pitch. Strike at the letters, and it's 2-2. Dragons 17-12 overall, 8-5 in the Jayhawk West. Right now, Garden City at 17-10 and 3-6. The pitch. Hit to right field. To his right is Will Reitz. He's got it, and there's 2 away. 2 fly ball outs here in the fourth for Colin Stone, the catcher. Stone struck out his first time. Jake Buns, 4 strikeouts. Check that, 5 strikeouts through 3 2/3. Ball 1 inside to Stone. That was pitch number 65 for Jake. 43 have been in the zone. The wind in the pitch. In for a strike, and it's 1-1. Getting Dragons out hit Garden in the first game, 12-7. Court to center field. In a few steps now to his right is Caesar. He's got it. 3 fly ball outs, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Busters in the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Dragons 1 and the Busters 1. Christopher Noble to lead off the fourth for the Blue Dragons. It's the lower third of the order against Malachi Crone. Chris Noble was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Each team scoring unearned runs in the third. Tied 1 apiece. The sun trying to slice through the clouds, getting a little bit darker. First pitch from Crone is a breaking pitch that misses outside, and it's ball 1 to Noble. Noble out of Shreveport, Louisiana, takes a strike. Always partial to Louisiana players. My father grew up in Louisiana, so I know quite a bit about the Pelican State. Hard hit ball to right field, and Noble has his first hit. Only the third different Dragon to collect a hit, 5 in the game now. And again, it's a leadoff single for the 4th consecutive inning for the Blue Dragons. Now Zach Baxley. Bax flew out to center his first time up, 0 for 1. 1 for 5 in the series. Crone comes set and delivers. That ball's hit well to center field. At the wall, looking up, and it's gone. A 2-run home run for Zach Baxley, and the Dragons lead at 3-1. Bax's second home run of the year. RBIs 15 and 16, and Hutchinson takes a 3-1 lead. Again, first pitch hacking, and Zach was all over that pitch. It was bell high, middle in, and it left the yard quick. Christopher Noble scores ahead of him. And finally, the Dragons do something with the leadoff single of the conventional variety. Reed scored to lead off the third, but scored on an unearned run. Both of those runs are earned. Now Caesar, the batter, grounded out to second his first time up. Big cut and a miss on a high fastball. I still contend if the Dragons would lay off a lot of those high fastballs, their averages are going to shoot straight up because they're swinging at balls. That pitch high and tight, and it's 1-1 to Caesar. Third baseman, Dakota Findley, playing back a little bit. Caesar ought to think about dropping one along third. They wouldn't catch him. Upstairs for a ball, 2-1. Underway in Kauffman Stadium. I still call it Royal Stadium. The oldness in me showing. The pitch. Slice foul off to the screen to our left, and it's 2-2. The official opening day of Major League Baseball. Again, the A's and Mariners played a couple of games in Tokyo last week. The pitch. Ground ball right to first. Fielded by Laura. He'll win the race to the bag, and that's the first out of the 4th inning. Back to the top of the order, and Will Reitz, 2 for 2, a pair of singles. Scored a run. And Reitz is hit with a pitch. The Blue Dragon way. That is the third hit batsman of the series. And the Blue Dragons now have 40. Check that. Third. Blue Dragons now have 48 hit batsmen this year. Reitz hit for a team high 13th time. Not on the pace of the record of 131 HBPs in 2010. Sartori is really aggressive right now. Cues one off the end of the bat foul. Sartori 0 for 2. Hit the ball well as last time. He lined out to right field. He tried to take 2 straight shots to right. Crone comes set. Now delivers. Pitch low. Good stop by Colin Stone to keep Reitz at first, and it's 1-1. Reitz away from first. The pitch. Well hit center field. Drifting back is Barber. He's got it. And there's 2 away. Sartori's hitting it well. Hitting with some distance, but right at Busters. He's 0 for 3. Here's Zane Schmidt. Reached on a fielder's choice, did Schmidt, and flew out to deep center field. 0 for 2. Schmidt became only the second Blue Dragon in team history to hit 3 home runs in one game earlier today, tying Michael Hellman. The pitch. First pitch hacking, and it's fouled off out of play to the left. Hellman did so on May 7th, 2016. A part of the craziest 3-game series possibly in Blue Dragon history. That was the Region 6 opening round series against Independence. Dragons scored the first win, won 23-5. Everybody thought it was going to be a cakewalk. It was far from a cakewalk. Independence came back and outslugged the Dragons in Game 2 and then led the third game 8-0 after 1 inning. But the Dragons came back and won in advance to Wichita. And that was the game Hellman had the 3 home run game in. The pitch. Outside to Zane, 2-1. Product of Kearney Catholic High School in Kearney, Nebraska. A product of one of the best Legion programs in the state. My old friend Steve Sponberg used to be the head coach. He's now the head coach at Hastings College. Upstairs to Zane, and it's 3-1. Brad Archer, also a good friend of mine, a longtime coach in that Kearney program. They used to come out to North Platte all the time and beat on the Platters repeatedly. The 3-1 pitch. And it's a walk to Schmidt. 2 on, 2 out for Dylan Nedved coming up. Malachi Crone, now 3 2/3 innings. He's allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. That was the first walk he issued. He struck out 2, and he's hit a couple of batters. So Nedved steps up. RBI opportunity with 2 outs here. Crone's pitch. Big swing and a miss. 0-1. Nedved has struck out and reached on an error. And that error opened up the gate for Ryan Moritz's RBI single to tie the game up at 1. That coming in the 3rd inning. The 0-1. Another swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Zach Baxley's 2-run home run here in the 4th. The difference. 3-1 the score. Ryan Schmidt's mind, he is hoping that the Dragons continue to increase this lead. That is something that the Dragons have struggled to do in 2019. They've grabbed plenty of leads, but they just can't extend them when the games get close. And it's kind of added up on the whole frustration of the year in the first half. Again, today we enter the second half of the season. The pitch called, strike 3. Crone paints the outside corner. And Nedved frustrated. He's now 0 for 3 with 2 called thirds. The Dragons take the lead on a 2-run home run by Zach Baxley. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 left after 4. Dragons 3 and the Busters 1.
Can you get this done, Mom?
They're in a rain delay at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. So that opening day of the Royals season has yet to get underway. Here, game number 30 for the Blue Dragons is a 3-1 lead. And the first pitch to Chris Laura, the first baseman of the Busters, is fouled back. Laura lined out to right fielder Will Reach, made a great diving catch, web gem type catch in right field to rob him of a hit, also an RBI. Laura takes the shot to right field but fouls off, and very quickly 0-2 as that sun starts to creep back out from behind the clouds, patches of blue up above. No wind to speak of. We're still expecting a wind shift, so the front hasn't arrived here yet. We'd be okay if it doesn't arrive till after the game. Swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout, number 6. Yeah. Fun Valley, if you were with me on the broadcast yesterday, you could there's no truth to the rumor that Jim Cantori showed up for a live weather shot, but the wind was blowing so bad, I was actually getting people texting me saying there's too much static on the stream. No, that was the wind going through my microphone. Ground ball to third by Brunson, fielded by Ryan Moritz, and there's 2 away. Fun Valley and San Francisco could be the only 2 places where it's 72 degrees and you have to issue wind chill warnings. 2 up, 2 down for the center fielder, Jake Barber. Barber singled and scored his only at bat. Jake Buns misses outside. Strong outing for Jake. That was his 72nd pitch, 49 for strikes. Dragons leading 3-1 on the power of Baxley's 2-run home run. Buns misses low and away. It's 2-0. The wind of the pitch. Foul back over the press box. Score update as that pitch misses. It's 3-1 now to Barber, the 9-hole hitter. Dodge City takes a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first over Pratt. The pitch outside, and that's a 2-out walk issued to the Busters' number 9 hitter. And that's usually never a good sign. First walk issued by Jake Buns to go with 6 strikeouts. Back to the top of the order, and Turner McDonald, the left fielder, who struck out twice against Buns. So Dodge City with a lead over Pratt, 2-0. Game 1 of that series, that being played at Cavalier Field in Dodge City. Buns misses wide, battling his control a little bit. The pitch. Placed to right field. Reads a few steps to his right. Got it looking into the sun, and the inning is over. 5 strong innings for Jake Buns. He's allowed 1 earned run and 2 hits through 5. Halfway through in game number 2. Dragons 3 and the Busters 1. Score update from Brent Goldfield and Liberal. Seward defeats Barton 2-0 in the first game of that series. That tightens the Jayhawk West up a little bit. That snaps Barton's 8-game conference winning streak. They're now 9-4, so the Dragons pick up a game after that, come from behind game 1 win here. Ryan Moritz, Zion Bolin, Christopher Noble, 5, 6, and 7 here in the 5th against Malachi Crone. And Ryan takes a big swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch. Moritz 2 for 2 with an RBI. Dragons have 6 hits in the game. Pitch outside, it's 1-1 to Mo. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 7 left on for the Dragons. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 3 left on for Garden City. Crone's 1-1. Over the outside corner at the knees for a strike, and it's 1-2. Crone peeking right over the top of his glove, waiting for the sign from Colin Stone, and now delivers. And Moritz swings and misses for out number 1. Crone now 4 1/3 innings. That was his 4th strikeout. He's walked 1, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 have been earned. And he's hit 2 Blue Dragons. Bases empty, 1 away for Zion Bolin. 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of the series. 0 for 3 in the series, and he wears a pitch. That's the 3rd time a Blue Dragon has been hit today. Bolin wears a pitch for the 5th time this year. That is HBP number 50, Denny. Yep. So Denny will tweet that information out about the Blue Dragon way. Bolin at first after being struck with the pitch, and now it's Christopher Noble. He was hit with the pitch and singled, scored a run. First pitch swinging is fouled off. The Dragons are aggressive any time in the count. That has kind of been Jamel Cervantez's mantra. The Dragons have been record-setting offensively the last 3 years. Move over to first. Back in safely is Zion Bolin. But along with the increase in run production, the increase in strikeouts has come with. Crone's pitch. Low, and it kicks away from the catcher. Bolin will move up to second on the wild pitch. So, big insurance run at second base with less than 2 out. Dragons with a 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Looking to take the first 2 games of a series for the first time in 2019. Conference series, let me preface that. Crone comes set, checks the runner, now delivers. Noble swings and foul, tips it into the glove of Stone, and he's down to the count 1-2. That was the 71st pitch by Malachi Crone. They are shading Noble the opposite way toward left. Big gap in right center. 1-2 pitch. Low for a ball, 2-2. Wind starting to pick back up a little bit. Flag was lifeless in center, now showing some movement. Maybe that front getting close to coming through. When we started, it was blowing dead out. Big swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt. Stone will have to pour it down to first to record the out. And there's 2 away. So now Zach Baxley. He's the difference in the game right now. A 2-run home run his last time up. Noble led off the 4th with a single, and then Baxley went yard to dead center. His 2nd of the year. The pitch. A little bit high for a ball. Dragons with 4 home runs now in the series. Zane Schmidt with 3, and then Baxley's back in the 3rd. Bolin away from second. Crone checks him, now delivers. The ball's hit well right center field, but playable. It's Anderson making the catch, and the Dragons are done in the 5th. No runs, no hits, 1 left. The Dragons have stranded 8 through 5 innings. We head to the 6th. Dragons 3 and the Busters 1. Sixth inning rolls around at Hobart-Detter Field. Dragons lead 3-1 on the power of Zach Baxley's two-run fourth inning home run. Jake Bunn's back to the mound. He'll face 2, 3, and 4. And strike one to Sean Klein. 0 for 2 in this one. A strikeout, Klein, and then a flyout. Klein had a big first game. Going 2 for 3 with a double, home run, and 3 RBIs. Klein checks his swing, and it's 1-1. Dragons have out-hit Garden City 6-2 so far. Jake Buns has pitched well. The big lefty kicks and fires. That one's knocked down by Buns on a line shot. He recovers to throw in time for the first out. Jake's got a big smile on his face and gives the thumbs up to Christopher Noble. That's one you want to take self-inventory of. That was a rocket right back up the box. Jake appears to be okay, and now Corbin Truslow steps in. A couple of ground outs in this one. He tripled and homered in game number 1 of the series. Also was intentionally walked in a crucial bat that worked out in the Dragons' favor. Big curveball from Buns is over but low for ball 1. Dragons play Tressler straight away at all 3 outfield positions. Pitch inside, and Tressler's kind of mad that he didn't let it hit him. It was way inside, and he got out of the way. And now it's 2-0 to the Buster designated hitter. The pitch. Buns paints the outside corner for a strike, 2-1. And the Dragons trying to win the first 2 games of a conference set all season. That pitch low and away, 3-1. After Truslow, it's Dakota Finley, the cleanup hitter. The line in the pitch. There's a strike at the knees, outside corner. Full count now to Truslow. Got to give a shout out to my old stats kid, Thomas Nelson, who's at Fort Hays State now. Sending back really big words on Twitter to Denny Steckline. Here's the payoff pitch. Hard hit ball. One hop backhanded pick by Sartori, and he throws Truslow out 2 away. Tough pick on the backhand. But Sartori feels the short hop and throws Truslow out 2 up and 2 down here in the Buster 6. Dakota Finley, the batter, 1 for 2, a second inning single. Buns delivers a breaking pitch down low. And the Dragons will have their conference bye week next week. Scheduled to play the Sterling JV midweek in a 4-game set. Swing and a miss. They've also added that game against Redlands, which didn't get put into the program because I printed it and then saw the email. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball left side, big hop, fielded by Nedved, and not in time. It'll be an infield single. Ball just wasn't hit or hard enough. Nedved and Moritz both converged. So an infield single for Finley. This is the 3rd hit of the game for Garden City off of Buns, and now it's Brendan Anderson. Anderson walked and has flown out to right field, nothing for 1. Anderson the tying run, 0 for 4 in the series. The pitch, way outside for a ball. Anderson only 2 extra base hits this year, both doubles. That doesn't mean he's not capable of leaving the yard. Bunn's about to deliver pitch number 92, and it's fouled back out of play. Count evens at 1-1. Bullpen quiet for Hutchinson. Both of those doubleheaders against the Sterling JV will be 7-inning games. All 4 games will be 7-inning games. 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, foul back. It's 1-2 in favor of Jake Buns. Redlands game will be 1 9-inning game. Again, the Dragons still a few games short in terms of games that they lost earlier in the year to weather. Buns out of the stretch, comes, sets, runner goes. The pitch is high. Noble's throw, not in time. It's stolen base number 3 against Buns this year, or in this game. Now a runner in scoring position with 2 away. Base came out.
Corbin is tuned in, so we need to work out a shout out to Corbin.
Corbin's probably growing a beard just during the broadcast. Like he shaved this morning.
Papa Smurf Corbin Strobel checking in. Corbin has the closest beard to Papa Smurf that I've ever seen. He could also try out for Santa Claus 4. 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging, and Jake Buns gets through the 6th unscathed. Works around a 2-out single, no runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Dragons 3 and the Busters 1. Chris Finnegan sends a new pitcher out to replace Malachi Crone. It will be Miguel Ramos. Ramos, a 5'11", 190-pound freshman from Wichita, right-hander. He'll lead off, or he'll face off against Jeremiah Cesar the first time, and it's outside for ball 1. The numbers on Ramos, on for the 14th time all in relief, no record, and a 4.85 earned run average. 13 innings pitched, 12 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 10 strikeouts, 6 walks. And now it's 1-1 to Caesar. Jeremiah, a couple of groundouts. Malachi Crone works the first 5. He can't win it, but can only lose it. Bunted, and it goes foul. We had to push it to the third base side. I would love to see him get one down just to see that speed. Jeremiah slotted into the center field and leadoff spots to start the season. Got off to a very slow start offensively. Up in the box with 2 strikes. The wind and the 1-2 from Ramos. Grounded right to the first baseman. Chris Lorum, 1 hop. He wins the race to the bag, 1 away. Caesar's 0 for 3. Now Will Reitz, the leadoff hitter. Reitz 2 for 2. Has been on base all 3 times. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Pair of singles in the 1st and 3rd, 1 run scored. He scored the game-tying run on Ryan Moritz's single in the 3rd. Ramos' pitch is a big swing and a miss by Will. Another Lincoln, Nebraska product. Omaha, my bad. That could start a war up there. Swing and a miss, nothing and 2. Working out of the windup, Ramos starts it, but Will Reitz calls for and is granted time. Action in the Buster bullpen, a right-hander. That pitch in the dirt. Andrew Sumner, he pitched in game number 1, didn't retire a batter. Faced 2 batters, gave up 2 hits. 1-2. Foul back on a pitch over the inner half, and Reitz remains alive, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Reitz with his swing and a miss. Reitz has 6 multi-hit games when he strikes out. First time he's retired. First strikeout for Ramos. And it's Logan Sartori who's 0 for 3. Sartori's hit safely in 5 straight now. Or 4, he's trying to extend it to 5. Wind in the pitch. Curveball of beauty over the inside corner, a strike. Sartori has tried to, his first 2 at-bats, tried to go to right field. Lined out to center, a pitch a little bit low. It's 1-1 to Sartori. The pitch. Ground ball right side, snagged by the second baseman. Klein spins and throws. And Sartori is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Ramos in the 6th. Nice play by the Buster second baseman. We head to the 7th. Dragons 3 and the Busters 1. On to the 7th. Blue Dragons leading Garden City 3-1. We'll get some Jack West updates here this half inning. And Jake Bunz returns to the mound and pitches inside to Colin Stone. Stone 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Also flew out to left. The Jayhawk West has tightened up. That pitch fouled off and it's 1-1. Pratt defeated Dodge City 5-4. That first game at Cavalier Field in Dodge City. At Brent Goldfield and Liberal, Seward defeated Barton 2-0. The pitch outside for a ball. That means first place Barton drops a game for the first time in 9 conference games. And then Colby all over Butler, the team that the Dragons were tied with for 3rd coming in. 2-1 pitch. Did it hit? No. It punched inside 3-1. So Colby defeats Butler 12-2. And that changes. Now the Dragons gain a game on Barton. Fly ball to right field, drifting back as Reitz. He's got it just short of the track, 1 away. Stone now 0 for 3, and that'll bring up Chris Laura, the first baseman. Laura has lined out to right and struck out, 0 for 2. In the series, 1 for 4. Lefty-righty matchup, the pitch. Line shot, snagged right off the turf by Zach Baxley. 2 away. Two up, two down for shortstop Griffin Brunson. Buns delivers. Ground ball to short. Backhanded stops. Nedved pours it across. A very quick 1-2-3 inning for Jake Buns. 3 up and 3 down. 7th inning stretch at Hobart-Detter Field. It's Hutchinson 3 and Garden City 1. Zane Schmitz lead out the bottom of the 7th for Hutchinson. The Blue Dragons leading Garden City 3-1 in game number 2 of this 4-game set. Dragons won 8-7 in a walk-off fashion by the young man at the plate. Zane Schmidt hit his 3rd home run of game number 1, tying a school record. Takes a strike from Ramos. He starts his 2nd full inning of work. He worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. The pitch. Big cut and a foul back, and it's 0-2. A wide in the 0-2. Pitch misses high for a ball. 1-2 now the count. Some is fighting back. 1-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat, popped up. Foul territory, 3rd base side, and it will get out of play. Miguel Ramos, his 14th appearance. All out of the pen. Dragons have double up hits on Garden City, 6-3. 1-2 pitch. Hit the center field, slicing away, and it's going to drop in for a hit. So, Zane Schmidt reaches on a base hit. His 4th at So, leadoff single for Schmidt. They've had the leadoff man off in 5 of 7 at bats. Here's Nedved. Nedved bunts it foul. He was bunting for a hit. Dillon 0 for 3. A couple of called thirds and reaching on an error, but that play was critical. It kept the 3rd inning alive so Ryan Moritz could hit single and tie the game up. 0-1 to Dillon. Dragons now have 7 hits to Garden City's 3. Here's the pitch. Bunt popped up. Be an easy catch for the catcher, Colin Stone. Nedved now a very frustrating 0 for 4. Now Ryan Moritz, a 2-hit game. 2 for 3. Moritz with his 7th 2-hit game of the year. Dragons yet to attempt a steal in this series. Strike 1 to Moritz, fastball in the outer half. Zach Furniture warming up in the Dragon pen. We'll see if Ryan Schmidt will roll Jake Buns out for the 8th. Breaking pitch a little bit low, and the count even at 1-1. Zach has been a very strong point of this Dragon pitching staff this year. Schmidt away from first. The pitch. Fastball just misses, and a balk is called. Balk called by the base umpire. I was not looking at Ramos to see if it was or wasn't. So no pitch and a balk called. So Schmidt moves up to second. He's in scoring position with a very big insurance run. Ramos comes set, checks Schmidt at second, now delivers. Big swing and a miss by Moe, and it's 1-2. I was actually watching the batter when the balk was called, so I cannot tell you what Ramos did. One-two pitch to Mortz. Over but low, and didn't miss by much, and it's 2-2 now, the count to the Dragon third baseman. So the Dragons, with the results of game number ones across the league, Cloud has the bye week this week. So now the Dragons lead Cloud by a game and a half. Here's the pitch. Pitch inside, full count. Boy, Ramos right around it. Just hasn't gotten the calls on the last two pitches. Barton at 9-4. Butler drops to 8-6. Hutchinson, or Butler is at 8-6. The Blue Dragons at 8-5. Cloud at 7-5. Colby moves to 6-4. It's a jumbled mess in the West at the midpoint of the season. 3-2 pitch. Got him swinging on a high fastball, 2 away. Ryan, very susceptible up top in the zone. That's where most of his swings and misses happen. Now it's going to take a 2-out single from Zion Bowen. Zion 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch. One of the most athletic kids on this Blue Dragon baseball team. Multi-sport athlete at Lawrence Free State. Schmidt extends his lead from second. Ramos looks, now delivers. Ball's hit to center field on his right, to his right, Barber. He'll track it down, and the Dragons are done in the 7th. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. The Dragons have stranded 9 through 7. On to the 8th inning. It is the Blue Dragons 3 and the Broncbusters 1. Zach Furniture takes over on the mound for Jake Bunce, who throws 7 solid innings for the Blue Dragons today. Zach, a 6-foot freshman, right-hander from Omaha, Nebraska. On for the 9th time, all in relief. 0-1 record with 2 saves and a 3.24 earned run average. 8 1/3 innings for Furniture. 7 hits, 6 runs, 3 earned, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks. And opponents hitting .250 against him. So he comes on to start the 8th. The book on Jake Bunn's a good one. In line for the win. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 unearned run allowed, 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. 1 wild pitch. So the freshman from Omaha will face 9-1-2 here in the Garden City 8th. Barber, McDonald, and Klein. Dragons with a 3-1 lead, looking to take the first two games of this Jayhawk West set. Permisher's first delivery to Jake Barber's taking low ball one. Barber's been on base twice, singled and scored in the third and walked in the fifth. Outside ball two. Permicher a very quick motion. And the last thing you want to do is walk the leadoff man, who's also the 9-hole hitter late in the game. Leadoff walks late in games tend to bite you more than not. Now 3-0. That'll get motion or action out in the pen real quick for the Blue Dragons. And it's a 4-pitch walk to start the eighth. And that is the last thing that Ryan Schmidt wanted. Christopher Noble is going to go out and talk to Zach Furniture. Tying run will come to the plate, and left fielder Turner McDonald. He has struck out twice and flied to right, nothing for 3. So the worst of all possible starts for Furniture. Let's see if he can get locked back in. McDonald 1 for 6 in the series now. Chris Finnegan running through the signs in the third base box, the 14th-year head coach of the Busters. He is now the longest tenured head coach in the Jayhawk West. I take that back. Ryan Carter is at Colby. Pitch in the dirt. That's 5 out of the zone now for Furniture. Dragons honestly cannot afford to lose this game. They've got it in hand after winning the first game in dramatic fashion. The 2-0. Runner goes. Pitches a strike. The throw down, not in time. And is stolen base number 4 of the game for Garden City. Pitch was a strike, though. 1-1 count to McDonald. First stolen base of the game for McDonald. Barber has, fourth of the game. That's Barber's third steal. Finley has stolen 1 for the Busters. 1-1 the count to McDonald. The pitch. Breaking pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Noble, and it's 2-1. Can't imagine that Ryan Schmidt will roll too much longer if Zach Furniture cannot rein it into the zone. Ryan Summers throwing in the Dragon pen. He had a rough first outing. Gave up a big hit in game number 1 that the Dragons came back and won. 2-1 pitch. Over below 3-1. That's 8 pitches and 7 have been out of the zone for Zach Furniture. Well, nobody said it was going to be easy. Furniture comes set out of the stretch, now delivers the 3-1. Back-to-back walks to start the 8th. The tying run reaches base, and Sean Klein becomes the batter, and Ryan Schmidt heads to the mound. The call has been made to the pen. We'll see Ryan Summers. We'll tell you about him right after the break. Ryan Summers on for the second time in the series. He also pitched earlier this afternoon, pitched the third inning, gave up a run, a hit, and a strikeout. Summers, a 6'5", 185-pound sophomore from Coweta, Oklahoma. Updated numbers on Ryan, now on for the 10th time. 7th in relief, a 3-1 record, no saves, and a 3.00 ERA. 21 innings pitched for Ryan Summers, 15 hits allowed, 9 runs, 7 earned, 32 strikeouts, and 7 walks, and opponents hitting 192 against. Summers could use a strikeout here. He will face the 2-hole hitter Sean Klein. 2 hits in the first game, 0 for 3 in this one. Working out of the stretch. Summers pitch. A little bit high for a ball. There's now 10 pitches in this 8th inning, and 9 have been out of the zone. Cade Fenton throwing back of Summers in the Dragon pen. Job number 1 right now is throw a strike. Bunting, and it's foul back. So Chris Finnegan trying to move the tying run up into scoring position. Barber walked, stole second, then McDonald walked. Now Klein the batter with a 1-1 count. Runner at first not being held on. Zach Baxley playing in front of him. Looking for the bunt. Showing bunt. That's a good one. Fielded by Summers. Only play will be to first. He's got it. Logan Sartori covering. So the sacrifice works 1-4. Moving up to third is Barber. McDonald, the tying run, is now in second with 1 out. So Corbin Truslow. He was intentionally walked in the first game. And they will intentionally walk him here. So that will load the bases. Second time in the series, Truslow has been intentionally walked, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Dakota Finley. Finley in this one, 2 for 3, a pair of singles. He was hitless in game number 1 in 4 trips. Dragons can use a ground ball right at an infielder. Summers pitch, taking high ball 1. Tying run at second base, now 1 out, top of the 8th, 3-1 Hutch. You had to figure a Chris Finnegan coach team was going to find a way to come back, or at least put the pressure on. Fastball from Summers. Good pitch over the outside corner, a strike, and it's 1-1. By all means, looks like another Chris Finnegan coach team. Tough as nails. Summers 1-1. Ground ball up the middle. Sartori gets to it, steps on the bag for 1. Double play! Dylan Nedved, another sparkling defensive play. Got the ball behind the bag, stepped on second through to first, and that's an inning-ending double play, and the threat is averted. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Hutchinson 3, Garden City 1. What a play by Dylan Nedved. Ranging far, far to his left, getting the ball behind the second base bag, stepping on it and throwing to first. Busters had bases loaded and one out, and come away unscored. 3-1 the score, Hutchinson with the lead. New pitcher for Garden City is Ryan Nason out of New Brunswick, Canada. Nason, a 5'11", 170-pound sophomore. He will face Chris Noble, Zach Baxley, and Jeremiah Cesar, 7, 8, and 9 in the Dragon 8th. Love to get some insurance runs. The pitch. Outside. The numbers on Nason. Once I find him here. 8th appearance, 1-0 record with a 4.15 ERA. 1-0 to Christopher Noble, the pitch. Check swing foul, and it's 1-1. Nason, 8 2/3 innings, 7 hits allowed, 5 runs, 4 earned, 13 strikeouts, and 8 walks. Noble, 1 for 3, a 4th inning single and a run scored. He's also, or 1 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and then struck out. 1-1 the count here. Nason's pitch, curveball, pulled foul, 1-2. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 9 left on for Hutchinson. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error, 6 left on for Garden City. Ryan Summers, who came in to relieve Zach Furniture, was pretty fired up after that double play. I'm sure Zach feels a little more relieved too. Big swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. Noble goes down on strikes. 1 away for Zach Baxley. Bax has the difference in this one. A 2-run home run to center field coming in the 4th inning. Bax now 1 for 3. He has flyouts to center and right, and then the home run to dead center. Noble scored ahead of that one. Breaking pitch from Nason, misses outside for a ball. The pitch. Pulled foul outside of third, 1-1. Malachi Crone went the first 5 for Garden City, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He struck out 5 and walked 1. Miguel Ramos, 2 scoreless innings with a hit and 2 strikeouts. And now Nason here in the bottom of the 8th. High chopper to short, fielded by Brinton. Low throw, dug out by Laura, and there's 2 away here in the Dragon 8th. Two up, 2 down for Caesar. Jeremiah 0 for 3, 3 ground outs, 2 right at the first baseman, Chris Lara. Again, this series will resume Saturday, weather permitting, at Williams Stadium in Garden City. Garden City Sports Information will provide the video streams. Up the middle, it's going to get through into center field for a base hit. Thinking about 2 big wide turn. Caesar returns his first hit of the game. The second of the series for Jeremiah. Dragons haven't yet to attempt a steal. Like to see it here with Will Reitz, or hit and run, something of that nature. Reitz struck out his last time up. He's 2 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch and singled twice. Scored in the 3rd ahead of, or with 2 outs. That pitch way outside. Good backhanded stop by Colin Stone. Royals still in a rain delay at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. 1-0 pitch. Taken for a strike inside corner, 1-1. Caesar is 2 for 2 in steals. Safe lead over first by Caesar. Doesn't go on the pitch. Pitch in the dirt. Now he tries to go. Could be caught in a rundown. Caesar will be ran back toward first. Now he tries to take off towards second. And Caesar's tagged out. So Caesar retired on the base pass, and that's how the 8th ends. We head to the 9th. Dragons 3, Busters 1.
Last time I went down there, so we want to go again.
Ryan Summers will try to close it out for the Blue Dragons. 3-1 Hutchinson as they try to take the first 2 games of this 4-game JAC West set, which will resume Saturday, weather permitting, at Williams Stadium in Garden City. Score update from Brent Goldfield and Liberal. Seward County looking to take game number 2 from Barton, leading 3-2 after 7 innings. Here is 5, 6, and 7 due up in the 9th. Anderson, Stone, and Laura. Brendan Anderson takes inside ball 1 from the pitcher Ryan Summers. Fastball line to right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. First hit for Anderson will get a pinch runner. It will be Grant Lathrop pinch running at first for Anderson. So now Colin Stone will be the batter. Lefty-righty matchup. Tying run at now at the plate, and Stone. 4 hits now for the Busters. The pitch. Right through there from Summers for strike 1. Anderson getting his first hit of the series. Now replaced by the pinch runner Lathrop. The pitch. Good fastball from Summers. Outer half at the knees. 0-2. And the Blue Dragons haven't gotten the first 2 games that was set all season. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 3 good fastballs from Summers. He gets a strikeout, his first of the game, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Chris Laura. Laura 0 for 3, lined out to the first baseman, Zach Baxley, on a soft liner that Zach picked off the turf. He's lined out to right and struck out swinging. Dragons have rolled 1 huge double play, that coming in the 8th. Ryan comes set, now delivers. Fouled off. Summers trying to close it out for Jake Buns, who's looking for his 5th win of the year. If successful, Summers would pick up his first save of the year. And still 2 big outs to go before we can say that official. The pitch. Ground ball to second. Sartori to Nedved for one. On to first. Double play, and that's a Dragon victory. 4-6-3 game ender. And the Dragons defeat Garden City 3-1 in game 2, taking the first 2 games of this Jayhawk West set for the first time this year. We'll wrap it up right after this. For the first time this conference season, the Hutchinson Blue Dragons take the first 2 games of a 4-game set, defeating Garden City, this time 3-1 after a dramatic Game 1 victory, 8-7 over the Broncbusters on a walk-off 2-run home run by Zane Schmidt. This time it was Jake Buns throwing 7 strong innings, and then the Dragons getting some defense at the end, inning-ending and game-ending double plays in both the 8th and the 9th. And the Blue Dragons get the first 2 wins. Now, if everything stays tight out in Liberal, the Blue Dragons would erase that 2-game deficit with Barton. Hutchinson with an 18-12 overall record, 9-5 in the West. Garden City falls to 17-11 overall. 3-7 in the Jayhawk West. Here are the totals for the just completed game. For the Blue Dragons, 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 9 left on base. For the Busters, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, 6 left on base. The winning pitcher, Jake Bunn, 7 strong innings. He improves to 5-1. Malachi Crone takes the loss. He drops to 3-1. Save to Ryan Summers, his first save of the year. And the Blue Dragons get the win. And the time of a very crisp game, 2 hours and 2 minutes. So the Dragons will and the Busters will resume again Saturday at Williams Stadium in Garden City, weather permitting. We'll see if the Dragons and the Busters can finish out this series. But a good start for Hutchinson. as they start the second half of the year. The Blue Dragons in this one out-hit Garden City 8-4. Multi-hit games from Will Reitz and Ryan Moritz. They both had 2 hits apiece. But the big blast was Zach Baxley's 2-run home run to center field, his second of the year. And as it turned out, that was the only extra base hit of the game for either team. Garden City took a 1-0 lead on an unearned run in the top of the third when Jeremiah Caesar's throw in on a potential tag-up kicked off of Chris Noble and kicked off toward the dugout. That allowed a run to score, make it 1-0, but the Dragons came back, taking advantage of a Garden City error. And it was Will Reitz scoring on Ryan Moritz's single to left to center field. That tied it at 1 apiece. Then in the 4th inning, Christopher Noble led off the inning with a single to center field or to right field, and Zach Baxley hit the home run to dead center field, clearing at the 392 mark, just to the left of the flag. That made it 3-1. Then it was Furniture in the pitching, or there was Jake Buns in the pitching staff. Jake Buns goes 7 innings, allows 3 hits, 1 unearned run. He strikes out 7 and walks 2 in his 5th inning of the year. Zach Furniture took over in the 8th. He walked the first 2 batters he faced and was brought out of the game. Ryan Summers took over with bases loaded, 1 out. A ground ball up the middle by Garden City's Dakota Finley. Gotten to from behind by shortstop Dylan Nedved. He stepped on the bag and quickly fired to first for an inning-ending double play, getting out of the jam. And Summers got through the inning unscathed. Then to the 9th, Brendan Anderson with the leadoff single. After striking out Stone, Chris Lower rolls into a game-ending 4-6-3 double play. Sartori to Nedved to Baxley, and the Dragons get the win. Again, Zach Furniture getting his 5th win of the year. Ryan Summers the save. And the Dragons have the first 2 games of the series. So now 18-12 overall, 9-5 in the West, depending on what happens out at Barton. They could be tied with the Cougars. Also, Butler lost their first game at Colby. If Butler loses, there's going to be a 3-way tie for first place, or a 2-way tie, or there's going to be a tie for first place with the Blue Dragons and the Cougars. So the Dragons get the job done today. Dramatic fashion in game number 1 in the good old-fashioned pitchers duel in game 2, winning 8-7 on the walk-off 2-run home run by Zane Schmidt, his 3rd of the game, which tied a school record. His 6 RBIs also tied for the 5th most RBIs in school history. 4 other players ahead of him had 7. The Dragons win the second game 3-1. My eternal thanks to my youngest daughter, Samantha, who was a photographer today and helped me running streams of softball, and my granddaughter, Karen, who ran the stream today. Thank you so much to both of you. We're going to go get some food after this and enjoy this one a little bit. Dragons get the 2 wins today, 8-7 and 3-1. We will see you again next week. Again, this weekend's games at Garden City at Williams Stadium will be provided. The stream will be provided by Garden City Sports Information. And my thanks to them in advance for that. That'll do it from Hobart-Detter Field. Again, today's final scores, the Dragons win both 8-7 and 3-1 to take the first 2 games of the series. The series resumes Saturday in Garden City. Thanks so much for joining us. We will talk to you again next week with plenty of Blue Dragon baseball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Until then, so long, everybody.